Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the park.
Oh, I don't have ears.
Woo. My name is Chris over here in the flannel. Finally get to wear a flannel. That feels nice. Yeah, welcome. We're going to get some music going and start our time together. This is one from Mumford & Sons. You'll probably recognize. Roll away your stone, I'll roll away mine. Together we will see what we will find. Don't leave me alone at this time. I'm afraid of what I will discover inside. Fragile substance of my soul. I have filled this void with things unreal, and all the while my character it steals. Darkness is a harsh term, don't you? Yet it dominates the things I see. Seems that all my bridges have been burned. You say that's exactly how this grace thing works. It's not the long walk home that will change this heart. The welcome I receive with a restart. And darkness is a harsh term, don't you think? Yet it dominates the things I see. Darkness is a harsh term, don't you think? Yet it dominates the things I see. Stars, hide your fires. These here are my desires. I won't give them up to you this time around, and so I'll be found. My stake stuck in this ground, marking the territory of this newly impassioned soul. Hide your fires. These here are my desires. I won't give them up to you this time around, and so I'll be found with my stake stuck in this ground, marking the territory of newly impassioned soul. You've gone too far this time. You have neither reason nor rhyme. with which to take this soul that is so rightfully mine. Yeah, thanks. Well, welcome once again. This crew, if you're just wandering by, is called Fabric. And yeah, we got music, we got some thoughts to chew on, good people to be around. I'm gonna sing this next one. It's an original. I don't know about you, but sometimes you need a little bit of encouragement. Like, man, this stuff is hard. This living stuff, and so that's what this song is. It's called "With a Little Bit of Love." If you return to your heavy loads, pretending stones are worth their weight in gold, the hurried hustle helps avoid the slow. When it's what you really need, you know it's easy and hard feeling this way, breaking your back and seeing no change. It's just what you do, putting all that on you, grinding away like we're insane. Now see if you can learn this. What can't be done with a little bit of love? It could even be fun, maybe, right? The falling and the getting up. With all the hard things that you've been thinking of. We can say it with me. Oh, we can. With a little bit of love. Sometimes it all comes crashing down. Another wave and you feel you'll surely drown. Didn't think to look for it, then it hits you like a ton of bricks, and without what do you do? Can't see your way through. You're feeling alone and like you should have known. That's how it begins, and then you're caught in the spin. Let the breath in and say it again and again and again. What can't be done with a little bit of love? It could even be fun. The falling and the getting up. With all the hard things that you've been thinking of, we can say it with me. Oh, we can. Love is all around you, but if it's hard to see, you can't live without it. It's like the air we breathe. Love is flowing through you, even if you don't believe. Generous and patient, simply asking you and me. Remember that? Sing it. What can't be done with a little bit of love. It could even be fun, the falling and the getting up, with all the hard things that you've been thinking of. We can say it with me, oh we can, 'cause what can be done with a little bit of love? It could even be fun, the falling and the getting up, and with all the hard things that you've been thinking of, we can say it with me, oh we can, with a little bit of love. With a little bit of love, yeah. With a little bit of love. Yeah, all right. Well, once again, man, it is a beautiful day down here at the park. Glad to be with you once again. I would encourage you to just let some of that breeze flow over you. Take it in, breathe deep, feel your feet against the ground below you. Remember that you're part of all of this. You know, being down here by the falls often makes me a little more reverent, a little more like I call to mind the native peoples that have stewarded this land and water for so long, and so yeah, I want to honor that history too, and do our part to learn from those peoples whose once and present homeland was taken, and grow in our own stewardship and our own sort of stewarding of this space down here. So yeah, little small ways, pick up a piece of trash, find the ways that you connect with the trees, the air, all the acorns. I almost went rollerblading on the acorns just a little while ago. That was pretty cool. And yeah, I guess just to take this in, that you are an important piece of this ecology here. In you is beauty and light and love. You are enough. You're lovable, and that's what I hear in this next song. Jen's gonna sing this next one for us. It's by India Ari. It's called "I Am Light."
The things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. 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 I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. I am 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 divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light.
There I am. That was beautiful. Thank you, Jen. Beautiful song. I could feel that in my heart. I like that there's things up here to help me with the wind situation. All right. Good morning, Fabric. Welcome, welcome. Hi, John. Got a nice wave there. So I'm curious, by a show of hands, who is just like ready and excited for this chill in the air? Whoa, okay, oh my gosh, okay. That's not what I expected. Bjorn, I expected that from you, but I wasn't sure about all these other folks. Well, regardless of your opinion on the temperature, one thing I love about gathering here at the Falls is how it helps us be in better alignment with nature and the earth and all of its seasons and cycles. I personally find that especially important at this like transitional time of the year to be immersed in it so we can be with it. And glad you're part of it this morning too. So this is Fabric, and I'm Erin McGee. And I'm grateful for the ongoing experiment that Fabric is. An ongoing experiment in what it means to be church for the rest of us. And you know, we are always becoming, both as individuals and collectively as a community, and I feel like that's what life is after all, an ongoing experiment of always becoming. And I'm grateful that this community intentionally works to maintain, you know, an open and loose posture enough to redirect and course correct and reimagine and begin again and again and again. That is part of what beckoned me here in the first place, and why I stay engaged all these many years later. So I am sad to say today is our second to the last Sunday of gathering here at the Falls. Just a moment. Logistics. All right. Of gathering here at the Falls. So next week will be our last Sunday here for the season. So come on out for great music, conversation, community, and pie. Check out your Sunday paper, yes, for how you can contribute to that Pie Fest. If you're newer to Fabric, you are invited tomorrow evening, Monday evening, to one of our Get to Know Fabric events. It's over at our neat, newish office space building at 35th and Aldrich, the Center of Belonging. So come on out for that. Doesn't matter how long you've been part of this community, we'd love to have you there. And after Labor Day, we will return to our regular Sunday morning gathering place, which is Field Elementary School in the Kingfield neighborhood, where we do this same thing every Sunday for all ages, but indoors. So there's that. What else do we have here? Fabric regulars. Your presence on Sunday mornings is a great way to welcome others who are, desire a community like ours. Plus, it's just better when you're there, frankly, and it's even better if you're there by 10:15. Like I said, we're always becoming, right? I'm talking to myself when I'm talking about this right here. What else am I missing? So if you are curious to learn more about Fabric, you can check out our website listed on the banner right here, fabricmpls.com. You're encouraged, too, if you haven't already, to pull out your connection card. And you are welcome to share what's on your heart on there, ask questions, suggestions, whatever you'd like. We will put those in the brown bags later when we pass them around. And the welcome tent, you're also always welcome to the welcome tent. Yes, thanks for waving back there. To learn more about our community or just refill your coffee at any point. So again, welcome, whether you look forward to gathering here all season long, or you just happened upon us or were entranced by the music. Thanks for being here. To those of you checking this out on YouTube later, hello. Thank you for tuning in. And at this point, I want to welcome our littlest people. I like to think of them as our freshest humans, the fresh little... Ian's on a hot mic. If you're 2 to 6 years old, you are welcome to come on up for nature camp and bring a grown-up or an older sibling to help check you in. And everyone else, you are welcome
in
to.
In just a moment, we are going to have
what's happening.
We are going to have an opportunity for kids because we have a special activity today. So we're interrupting.
Ian has something more important that I was going to say.
I do, and actually, while you're up here, so this week marks the end of Aaron's tenure as the president of the board for Fabric. So we want to just have a moment to celebrate and say thank you to Aaron. It's been a year of a lot of transition, and so thank you, Aaron, for your steady presence.
It was an honor.
Oh, totally. Well done.
You got me.
Thank you, Aaron.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we want to say hi?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. So he totally got me on that one. You are welcome to stand up as you're able, move around, and say hello to others. And if you want, share what you are looking forward to this fall.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here and for sharing what you're looking forward to for fall. I know that this weather for me, this is my sweet spot. I love this so much. As your conversations come to a natural close, I'll invite you to bring your attention back up here. But first, any kids who are not at nature camp but are here, I would love your help, because Heidi and I were talking about the stuff we're talking about today here, about this idea of innovation and creativity. And we were thinking about fairy tales. And we have two problems that need solving. So if you want to come up here, we've got a couple boxes, and we're going to do some teamwork on innovating some solutions to problems. The first one is, how many of you know the story of Jack and the Beanstalk? Yeah? Okay, so the problem that we have is that Jack and the Giant decided to go into an egg delivery business together. But they were wasting so much time climbing up and down that giant beanstalk that we need some help. We need some social innovators to figure out a delivery system for eggs to get from the top of the beanstalk to the ground without breaking and wasting all those delicious and nutritious golden eggs. So you can work together on that. And the second problem is the story of the Billy Goat's Gruff and the Troll Bridge. So the problem is, after crossing the bridge in the morning by tricking and horn-butting the troll into the stream, the troll was hurt and hopping mad and in no mood to let the goats pass by again. So the goats needed to find a way that they could easily cross the river without getting into troll trouble. So we need some social innovators to work together on that project to use some of the troll's natural fears to allow the goats to pass back and forth to the delicious grass lunch on the other side. So you can work on that, and I'm going to check in a little bit with you on how that's going for you, okay? Great. And if that sounds intriguing to anyone else who's not a kid, I mean, you could come up if you wanted to. So welcome. I'm so glad to see you all today. My name's Ian. Use pronouns like he and him. Work as the pastor on Fabric, and it's good to be together here in the great outdoors on this blustery day. Just a note to watch your heads. Maybe you've already gotten hit by an acorn, but they are dropping today. So watch your step, because you can kind of skate along in the grass, especially. So we are right now in the second of 2 weeks of this little mini series we're doing called Flourishing Forward. Last week we had to shift a little bit. We met at Venn Brewing because of a rainy forecast. And while we were gathered at Venn for conversation, we talked a little bit together about what flourishing looks like in a real sense. Like, what are the signs that either individuals or communities are flourishing? And had a great conversation about that. We ended up recording a video and putting it out online, so if you follow our socials or YouTube or whatever, you can see it there. But one of the things that I really loved about, the 16, 17 different responses that we recorded out of 40 different responses that we were in conversation about, is that flourishing can look a lot of different ways. That flourishing, one of my favorite responses was that a sign of flourishing in a community is that breakfast places are full and people are laughing together in public. I loved that one. Or that food trucks are selling out. We heard ideas about people feeling grounded in who they are, feeling joy in the midst of both the pain and the beauty of life. Heard responses about flourishing looking like connectedness and belonging to one another, being known and knowing other people well. And then the conversation that we were planning to have last Sunday, I recorded as individual podcast episode that you can watch or listen to on our podcast stream. But it was with Tabitha Montgomery and Tim Anderson from Flourish Placemaking Collective, who own the Center of Belonging where we office. And so we had a really great conversation with them about this idea of how do we innovate? How does innovation happen toward human flourishing? And what does that look like for them in a real sense? Again, you can listen to that on YouTube or on our podcast feed, and I would encourage you to do so. But when we talk about flourishing, it's admittedly, pardon me as I hold this down here when the wind blows, admittedly, it can be hard to imagine flourishing in times when it feels like so much of the sort of fabric of society and of community is at stake, or things are happening that don't provide conditions for flourishing. And especially it's hard to imagine flourishing when it doesn't feel like things are getting any better, or that things are actively getting worse for people, real humans. So given all of that, deep breath, I want to pose kind of a grounding question for us, and it's this. What would it look like to innovate, not just to fix problems that exist, but actually to alter a culture, or to transform how we engage in community? It's at this moment that it would probably be helpful to actually define innovation or social innovation. Because when I think of innovation, the first thing I think of is like 3M and Scotch tape and sticky notes, which I'm a big fan of all those things. But innovation, I don't think is just limited to tech or to startups or to business. I think it's any creative response to social problems, any creative response to things that where there's a social need. And so as I've been thinking about innovation and flourishing, I have been inspired by the words of Duncan Wardle, who used to be the head of Disney Pixar. Kind of when you think of all your favorite Pixar movie, Duncan Wardle was probably the head at that time of Pixar Studios. So inherently, a really creative person who just really gets that storytelling is such a central way that we engage in the deep things of life as humans. And what Duncan Wardle said about defining innovation and creativity is this. He said, "I define creativity as the ability to have big ideas. And I define innovation as the ability to get those ideas done, to make it happen." So creativity is the ability to have big ideas. Innovation are finding the solutions to make those things happen. So when we think of social innovation in our world, we can think of things like mutual aid networks, right? Or maybe the ways that we as communities or as neighborhoods share, right? Like there's like buy nothing groups. That's an innovative solution to the problem of waste and want and need and like the disconnect from community, things like that. There's all sorts of really incredible social innovation happening in our communities. Or you think of even Flourish Placemaking Collective, who owns the Center of Belonging, where we and many other communities have our office and operations. So they take a space like a church that was dying and with this kind of innovative and creative mindset, turn it into, once again, a perpetual community asset. Or I think of our friends, if you were around for the chili cook-off, our annual chili cook-off this past year, our partner of Wildflower Coffee, where they started this coffee shop, but it's really to solve the problem of employment, needs being met of employment for young people who've experienced homelessness. So it's The founder, Carly Kammerer, and I had a conversation this past week about Wildflower and how her passion around coffee and as a social worker working with kids kind of intersected, and she created Wildflower, and now they're doing really incredible work. We had a conversation because they lost some of their grant funding, so I recorded this conversation, and we'll put that online this week. I would really encourage you to look into them and find ways that we can, as a community, step in and support Wildflower and the work they're doing for kids that have experienced homelessness. But the need for innovation, the need for thinking creatively and giving those creative ideas legs, is certainly something that we ought to be talking about. For me, as a pastor, my curiosity around innovation toward human flourishing is really rooted first and foremost in kind of my human experience, my sense of interconnected personhood, that we all belong to one another, that we all are not apart from community but are a part of it. But I draw also inspiration from so many stories and teachings of Jesus, who I believe was what we might now call a social innovator. So for me, when I think of human flourishing and when I think of innovation towards human flourishing, the first thing that comes to mind is these words from John, the Gospel of John 10:10, where Jesus says that thieves come only to kill and to destroy and to steal. But he says, I came that they might have life and have it abundantly. And so I really am inspired by that idea of it's not just about existing, it's about making sure that needs are met. It's making sure that we all know that there's enough for everybody. There's this concept, this word in Hebrew called shalom. Does anyone know what shalom means in English? The cicadas, and even if you're saying it out loud, I can't hear you because the cicadas in the plains. Hopefully you can hear me. Shalom is peace, right? But it's not just a peace that's like the absence of tension. It's actually this big concept that has a lot more weight. Rather than being the absence of conflict, it's the presence of wholeness, of a sort of sense of completeness. Shalom is a sense of harmony or justice and the flourishing of relationships. And that's not just, between you and me relationships. It's relationships we have with God, with creation, with entire communities, and even with ourselves. The relationship we have with ourselves, we can seek this idea of shalom, of completeness and harmony and balance. In the prophetic imagination of the ancient prophets like Isaiah and Amos and Micah, shalom, this concept of completeness and wholeness, shalom looks like swords or weapons being taken apart and beaten into plowshares, right? Turning weapons of destruction into tools of production and feeding people. In the prophetic imagination, shalom looks like every person sitting under their own vine and fig tree with a deep sense of having enough, not just for themselves, but enough to share and to receive from others. It's the idea of justice rolling down like water, like the water falling from the waterfall behind us. It's the idea of lions lying with lambs, despite the fact that lions and lambs do not inhabit the same ecosystems. That one's always confused me, other than in the zoos, It looks like no one making anybody else feel afraid, right? That's what this concept, this wholeness, this completeness, this shalom looks like. It's not just a peace of mind, it's peace on the ground, in bodies, in communities, in the relationships between people, in the coming together. That's what we're talking about. And I think that Jesus, in my mind, wasn't just a preacher about shalom. I think what he was doing was innovating toward that idea. He had kind of a reimagined sense of kinship and access and value. So when he says that I came that they may have life and have it abundantly, I think he's speaking in contrast to that occasional human tendency we have to be more like thieves and robbers who take and destroy and hoard and separate out and put walls around things, right? And I think what he's talking about is those walls come down and we reimagine what community, what our sense of ourselves is, and connection to all things. And when he says that he came that people may have life and have it abundantly, that abundance, I think he's not offering a hyper individualized spiritual high or even abundance in the sense of like, I have enough because I'm doing it right or anything like that. I think what he is talking about is not mere existence, but life in its fullness, vitality, wholeness. And that wholeness aligns beautifully with that concept of shalom. So that shalom and vitality and wholeness is what I think he's talking about pretty much all the time. So if shalom, if peace, if completeness, harmony, connectedness, if that's the soil in the ground, and abundant life is the fruit that grows out of it, I wonder if maybe innovation, social innovation, is one of the ways that we together tend the garden, right? This vision of social innovation for the sake of flourishing invites us to reimagine systems that currently leave people out or leave people behind. I think the vision of social innovation invites us to build practices that promote mutual care and dignity and access. And fundamentally, I think that it invites us to shift the questions that we're asking. Like shifting the question from, am I doing okay? Are me and my family doing okay? To, are we doing okay? I think that this vision invites us to look at our entire community, look at our neighborhood, the places that we work, the relationships we're in, the schools we're about to go back to, and wonder at, are we all okay? I think that's really what we're getting at. And that means that flourishing as a project isn't a private individual project. It means that flourishing is actually a community idea. It's a communal project. And any sort of understanding that doesn't make room, any understanding of flourishing that doesn't make room for that bigger, interconnected picture, I think really misses the mark of what we're talking about, of what I think Jesus was inviting people into, of what communities that do well across time ask these larger interconnected questions. Flourishing can be personal, right? There are moments when maybe my community is doing fine, I'm not. And I want to feel that feeling of like, I'm doing okay, I'm doing well, I have everything I need. It can be personal, but it's also inherently communal. Like I don't know about you, I've tried and I've failed every time. You can't flourish alone. People without people are a whole lot less people, right? Humanity without humans, I don't know what that is. And so I just want to acknowledge as we imagine flourishing together and imagine asking the questions that ask for creative solutions, there are barriers. Like there is burnout and there is injustice in the world. That is very true. There is fear and cynicism. And noise pollution. And there is scarcity. Scarcity mindsets. But also, there is incredible power in imagination. There's incredible power in creativity. And in widening the circles that we have to get the help that we need to work on the group project together. There's incredible power in innovation toward human flourishing. There's a quote from Adrienne Marie Brown. She says, "What we practice at the small scale sets the pattern for the whole system." You maybe thought, if you've been around all summer, that we are done with the Practice Makes Progress series. We're not. What we practice at the small scale sets the pattern for the whole system. And so I want to invite you to imagine, what could you reimagine in your life? Or on your block? Or in your community, your family system, your workplace? There's these steps toward in social innovation that there's a lot of theories on social innovation and how you do it, but I'm going to distill it down to a set of questions. The first set of questions is, where are we now and where do we want to be together? What's our goal toward flourishing? What could flourishing look like? Kind of acknowledge the difference between where we are and where we might want to be. The second set of questions is, once you know the distance from here to there, what are the barriers or what are the obstacles? And then also, what are the assets available to us? What are the stepping stones that we can trust? The next set of questions is around, do our circles need to get bigger? Do our circles need to get bigger? What don't we know? And what might we need to learn or unlearn in order to make the conditions for human flourishing? Then the next one is maybe the scariest one for me, and it's try something, fail, and learn from it. Try it out as imperfectly as you might and see what happens. Make mistakes, learn from them, adapt, tweak it, and try again. Maybe as we've talked about innovation, you've been thinking a little bit about places that you've already been innovating without naming it. So maybe take a moment to just take stock of that. Notice where you're already innovating without knowing it. Maybe it's as a coworker or a partner or a parent, maybe it's in the kind of caregiving that you engage in your community, or in the ways that you volunteer your time and resources. Maybe it's in how you resist the temptation to be more like the thieves and the robbers and trying to be a little bit more like the community member. Wow. I hope that something came to mind for you. There's a lot of faces out here, and as I've gotten to know you, I know how innovative you are. I hope you can feel that and know that too. So I want to just take a moment to check in too with the kids, because they've been innovating around practical needs for fairy tales like Jack and the Beanstalk and the Billy Goats. So I'm wondering, and I'm hoping I'm not going to get feedback here in front of the speaker, over here. What are you all coming up with over here?
We're making a bridge.
You're making a bridge?
Yeah.
How's it going?
Good.
Good. What's worked really well for you?
I don't know.
Glue? Yeah? And would you try anything different the next time?
I don't know. I mean,
There's just a lot of good teamwork happening over here. This is great.
We're hitting all the phobias.
Hitting all the phobias, great. Oh, to make sure that troll stays away. Looks like the troll is very afraid of spiders. Yeah, and how about you? You're doing an egg delivery system, right? What's worked really well for you in your project? Yeah, spongy thing. I like it. Have you learned anything in this process? Have you been working together? Yeah?
These guys did theirs all together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
There are so many ways to create solutions, and you're doing such an incredible job. I love it. If you have an opportunity at the end here to check out these projects, these are very cool. Fun to have a little view of that. So we know, I think kids are a great vision because they just know inherently, they've got the gifts to figure something out. And there's something about adulthood that somehow I believe less in my own abilities as an adult than I did when I was 3 years old. And so I want you to hear the thing I also need to hear, and that is that you have all the gifts and skills it takes to be innovative. Not just to have an idea, but to make it happen. And that's in you. It's baked in. And as you look around, both in this physical space, take a peek around at others, and in all the other spaces and communities that you inhabit, there is enough in community to innovate, to make things happen, to create the conditions for flourishing or for abundant life that we're talking about. I was going to end this a different way, but then I came in and I was getting hit in the head with an acorn, and I thought, it reminds me, I'll tell this story 100 times, I'm sure, but I have carried for 20-some years an acorn in my pocket from my mentor, Raleigh Larson, who reminded me that when I was 15, so however long that is, that I've 15 plus 9, 24 years I've carried an acorn in my pocket. He said, an acorn is great because it has everything in it. An acorn has everything in it. The nutrients, the ability to grow, the energy, the ability to take moisture, to send roots, to crack, to grow into something this massive that's shading us right now. Everything that is needed is in an acorn. And he said, I don't know, maybe you'll take this and put it in your pocket like me. And every time you reach in your pocket, you'll remember that you are like an acorn. So I'm going to invite you to look down, find a relatively good-looking acorn, and maybe it's just for today, maybe it's just for the week, maybe it's for the next 24 years. I invite you to pocket this or pop it in your purse or your bag, your backpack, and remember that you, like an acorn, have everything it takes to innovate, to be creative, and to create the conditions for human flourishing. Because that is a group project, and it's not up to others, it's up to all of us. May it be so.
Well, if you would, you can find these little brown bags in the on the benches, on the edges, and if you pass those, put those whatever cards into those, and share your thoughts, your smart remarks, your hurts, your needs, your prayers, and if you are, if you've prepared yourself to support Fabric financially, that's a place you can throw in your small bills, your checks, whatever, too. And if you're new around here, man, just know that that's not an expectation. That's not a price of entry or anything like that. We just we build all this together, so it matters. We got a couple more songs. This one is from the Alternate Roots, and it's called Nothing More. to be humble, to be kind. It is the giving of the peace in your mind. To a stranger, to a friend, to give in such a way that has no end. We are love, we are one. We are how we treat each other when the day is done. We are peace, we are war. We are how we treat each other and nothing more. To be bold, to be brave. It is the thinking that the heart can still be saved. And the darkness can come quick. Enters in the anger and the hanging on to it. We are love, we are one. We are how we treat each other when the day is done. We are peace, we are war. We are how we treat each other and nothing more. Tell me what it is that you see. A world that's full of endless possibilities. Heroes don't look like they used to. They look like you do. We are love, we are one. We are how we treat each other when the day is done. We are peace, we are war. We are how we treat each other and nothing more. We are how we treat each other and nothing more. We are how we treat each other. Yeah, well, actually, you know what? Before I really start that, you guys aren't moving quite enough. So we got to at least clap with me. If you want to stand up and move around a little bit, this is a good one to clap with. Like that. Okay, here we go. Here we come to a turning of the season. Witness to the arc towards the sun. Neighbor's blessed burden within reason becomes a burden born of all in one. And nobody knows. Let the yoke fall from our shoulders. Don't carry it all, don't carry it all. We are all our hands and holders beneath this bold and brilliant sun. This I swear to all. Monument built beneath the arbors, upon a plinth that towers toward the trees. Every vessel pitching hard to starboard, lay its head on summer's freckled knees. Nobody knows. Let the yoke fall from our shoulders. Don't carry it all, don't carry it all. We are all our hands and holders beneath this bold and brilliant sun. This I swear to all. This I swear to all. Beneath the trillium and ivy, laid upon the body of the boy, come from its hiding and return this quiet searcher to the soil. So raise the glass to turnings of the season. Watch it as it arcs towards the sun. You must bear your neighbor's burden within reason. Labors will be born when all is done. Nobody knows. Let the yoke fall from our shoulders. Don't carry it all, don't carry it all. We are all our hands and holders beneath this bold and brilliant sun. This I swear to all. 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 To all, to all, to all, to all, to all.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you all for being here. Again, I hope that you can reach in your pocket or purse or backpack or wherever that acorn is and remember that you have everything it takes built right in and around you to create the conditions for flourishing. Next week, we are going to be back here for the last time of the summer for a week of music. And it's like kind of a deeper Sunday, part of our deeper series. And we're featuring the music of Chris Tripolino. So very excited about this for us. Pretty cool to have somebody on staff who has those gifts. I don't. So we're gonna hear from Chris next week a little bit, and then have pie. So bring a bit of an appetite, and we'll be back in 2 weeks at Field Elementary for a fall series. We're gonna start right away, September 7th. So thanks for being here. Have a wonderful day. Let's go out and create the conditions for flourishing together. Thanks for being here.